All right, so I did two videos going into depth about the Sam Seder and Jimmy Dore debate about the 2016 election. And basically, Jimmy Dore was arguing that if Donald Trump becomes president, it won't actually be that bad because he will be the most ineffective president in history, basically, due to all of the scrutiny that he will be facing, as well as how incompetent he is. That due to a combination of his incompetency with his the scrutiny of him, like everyone's going to be going after him on a daily basis. Essentially, they're going to be criticizing him. So he said there would basically be no way to get anything done. Now, we know that that was empirically false because obviously Donald Trump got a crap ton of stuff done. That includes things like appointing two Supreme Court justices who are going to serve for life, doing different things like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, almost repealing Obamacare. The individual mandate did get repealed. You're talking about pulling out of the Iran deal, the Paris Climate Accord, etc., etc. So essentially, in those first two videos, I went into depth about, I tried to go in, look back, because we're now over a year and a half from the day that Donald Trump took office. So I wanted to go back and I wanted to see, okay, who ended up actually being correct. And it's very clear that through empirical data, this is not debatable, by the way, that Jimmy's argument that Donald Trump was going to get nothing done not only was wrong, but a lot of the arguments that Jimmy Dore made were insanely stupid. And I don't know why I didn't designate and identify those like that at the time. But this guy, he claimed that the Democrats could filibuster the Republican Supreme Court nominee for not just 2 years, but for 4 years. Now that's just plain insanity. I mean, that's crazy. And as I explained, first of all, the Democrats are pushovers, but number two, they literally can't filibuster anything. Do you know why? It's because he didn't take into account that the Republicans in the Senate could change the rules from changing it so that cloture goes from 60 to 50 votes. And the Democrats have how many votes? They've got 49 if you add in the two independents, which you should, obviously. So the Republicans have 51 votes. So the Republican Party's pretty much always unified, spare like Obamacare repeal, slightly not unified. So they have the power to literally break open any single filibuster there is, because they can just change the number back down to 50. So that is essentially the conclusion that I came to. Now, this is something interesting that I wanted to look at. So, if you look at the debate between Jimmy Dore and Sam Seder, when they first started out, Jimmy definitely seemed to be friendly. Sam Seder seemed to be friendly too, although I have to say that their debate, at least in the beginning, did seem kind of awkward because Jimmy Dore was he was making jokes and laughing, and it made it seem like Sam Seder and Jimmy Dore weren't on the same page because Sam seemed like, hell no, this is serious. I'm trying to be like dead ass serious right now. And Jimmy Dore was kind of making his jokes because he's a comedian, right? So they tried doing that.
So you're going to let Paul Ryan, would you want Paul Ryan to be president? This guy wants to privatize Medicare. He wants to privatize Social Security.
So after that debate, they were still on good terms, Sam Seder and Jimmy Dore. Now, they still were tweeting each other and still were in contact because I saw some of the tweets that they sent each other. And so, basically, what I'm trying to say is they were still on good terms. But, for whatever reason, afterwards, Sam Seder continued to criticize Jimmy Dore. And instead of respond or even engage Sam Seder, he decided instead just to basically go silent. Now, if you haven't seen Jimmy Dore's interview with Jamarl Thomas, basically, Jamarl brings up one of the videos of Sam Seder, and Jimmy Dore's reaction essentially is like, "Oh no, like why'd you bring this guy up? Like I don't want to see this." You know, it's like it's sort of I'm not going to respond to this. And he didn't end up like saying anything about Sam or anything like that. So he's basically gone silent on Sam. Supposedly he called Sam Seder a failed comedian. I'm not sure if he did that or not. I don't know if he said, in Tim Black's interview, I don't know if he was referring to himself or not. I think he was, but I don't know, to be honest with you. But the point here being is that essentially this is what the perception was amongst the progressive community. Now, if you don't know, I actually used to be on Jimmy's side. I don't know how I was able to do that, but after like a serious look at what was said, it's very obvious that Sam Seder was correct. And you can go back to my old videos, and I literally was defending Jimmy Dore in pretty much all the Sam Seder Jimmy Dore videos that I did. But I have come to realize that it turns out that Jimmy Dore was incorrect about what he said. So this was the perception going around as to why Sam Seder would make a bunch of videos about Jimmy, because he would make one like all the time, and then Jimmy would make none about Sam, where he would make none of it. So essentially the idea behind this was, the reason why Sam Seder is making so many videos about Jimmy Dore is because he's trying to catch him in subs, and he was unable, and he basically got lapped by Jimmy Dore. Because if you don't know, the Majority Report has been on YouTube since like 2010, 2008, somewhere around there. No, definitely 2000. I'm not sure. I forgot. But they, what I'm trying to get across is they've been on YouTube a crap ton of time. And Jimmy Dore started his just in 2016. And it basically lapped Sam Seder really fast, because Sam Seder in like 6 years or something like that got to 150, which is not bad at all. But Jimmy Dore got to he sprinted up to 250 effectively in I can't even remember how long it was, like a year maybe? A year or less. So the perception was, the reason why Sam Seder keeps making all of these videos is because he's trying to catch up to Jimmy Dore in subs and subscribers. And Sam Seder is so far below, and the reason why Jimmy doesn't mention him is because he doesn't want to give him clout or something like that. So, and I sort of fell into that. I don't know why, and I'll give you examples. So, these are comments on one of Sam's videos going after Jimmy Dore. This one says, Jimmy's subscribers 250K, Sam's subscribers 156K. This is why we see MR make videos on Jimmy and not the other way around. So there were a bunch of different ones like this. There's another one that says, I just realized Sam Seder is punching up. With Jimmy's 250K viewers, it makes sense for 156K Sam Seder to keep Dore in his mouth. Another one says, Dore has 100K more subscribers. And there's a bunch more too. There's a bunch more in here too. But basically the point that I'm trying to make, another one says Jimmy has double the amount of subs and views pro-imperialist Sam has. So basically, the idea was amongst the people that, the reason Sam Seder keeps mentioning and criticizing and critiquing Jimmy Dore is because he has more subs. Well, fast forward to today, I believe Sam Seder's at 396K. And Jimmy Dore's at 407K. So they're pretty much back to being neck and neck again. And what I'm trying to get across here is Jimmy Dore should, if not debate Sam Seder, which is what I think he should do, he should respond to Sam Seder. Honestly, I think it's a weak, cowardly move to have a debate and I believe he said that he invited Sam on his show. And then it just fell apart, which I don't know what happened. I'm guessing he revoked the invitation. But it's a weak move not to do a debate. You can't make such a huge claim, have someone of opposition who has good intentions, by the way. This isn't Ben Shapiro. He's not trying to, you got wrecked with facts, bro, and destroy your career. He's just trying to debate ideas. I know how cringy that sounds because of Dave Rubin. But the point I'm trying to make here is Jimmy Dore should actually debate Sam Seder. He needs to debate him, okay? There's no excuse anymore. You can't say the subscriber thing. They're pretty much the same in subscribers now. And it's time for reflection. I mean, reflection and analysis is pretty much the most important thing in all of life. Now, it can get kind of convoluted in terms of doing it over and over again, but the point I'm trying to make here is that it's really, really important, especially in politics and history, by the way, just in general. Always got to analyze and reflect, and that is something that Jimmy Dore needs to do. So he needs to do a debate with Sam Seder. If not, that is a very weak and cowardly move.